I read out loud. The second William Blake quote. This is from The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. And he writes, "There's a firm persuasion that a thing is so, make it so." He replied, "All poets believe that it does. And in ages of imagination, this firm persuasion removed mountains. But many are not capable of a firm persuasion of anything." That's strong language, isn't it? That last line. But many are not capable of a firm persuasion of anything. Blake is a very powerful poet. Most poets are. They don't back away from what they feel, what they experience. Blake has a reference in this quote. He says, "This firm persuasion in ages of imagination removed mountains." Well, his reference to moving mountains is to Jesus' teaching. That faith, the size of a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy little mustard seed, could cause a mountain to move. Of course, the mountain that Jesus and Blake are referring to is the mountain of doubt, the mountain of disbelief in our minds about who we are and what we are capable of doing. Or not. Or not. Or not. Or not if you have no doubt about who you are. But what if I have doubts on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and weekends? But not the other days. That's what we call, some call, the human condition. Is it permanent? No. Not if you can imagine it otherwise. George Bernard Shaw wrote the play called Back to Methuselah. And in it, there is the character of the serpent. And the serpent says, "You see things, and you say, why? I dream things that never were, and I say, why not?" And yes, Robert Kennedy did give proper attribution to Shaw when he paraphrased his statement. The real question, I believe, in both of these statements, Blake's and Shaw's, is, are we going to choose to live from the circumstances of life or from our inner creation of life? Are we going to choose to live from the outside in or the inside out? And what is even more, a more relevant question is this. Because here's what I know, that if you're sitting here, you have already made the decision. You've chosen to live from the inside out. You've chosen that. And so, when it does happen, what is it that may come between us and our divine persuasion? What is it that comes between us and our divine intention? What are those walls, those perceived walls that we keep hitting, if we do? Because I'm not going to make a categorical statement. You could be, this person who has no doubts. You may know who you are fully. And if not today, tomorrow. Know that you can fully embrace who you are. No walls, no obstacles will be in your way. Because Any perception that we have that we are anything less than love and joy and wholeness is a misperception. Any obstacle that comes between us and that knowing, because that is our truth, that is who we are. So I believe the answer to the question, and the question is, if you hit any walls, what are they? And why are they there? Because they're illusory. And I believe the beginning of the answer might be in this. That the universe is all energy. Nothing but energy. Albert Einstein, possibly the greatest physicist yet to have lived, said, nothing happens until something moves. Everything in the universe is a movement of energy. Every thought, every object, every idea, every experience is a movement of energy. And it is varying levels of energy that create different worlds. You may be sitting here thinking, I think there's only one world and I'm living in it. And I will demonstrate what I'm talking about. The first world is the material world. And in the material world, energy is moving. Nothing is really solid. We know this. I mean, we've known this for years. As soon as they invented an electron microscope, they knew that anything that appeared to be solid, it's an illusion. It's a very handy illusion. Otherwise, you don't be sitting on the floor. So I invite you to embrace some illusions. You'll be more comfortable that way. But that chair is energy slowed down to the point that our 5 basic senses can perceive it. That's the material world. The next world is the world of sound. It's faster. Its energy moves faster than that of the material world. We can't see sound, but we can certainly feel it, can't we? Remember that commercial? The guy sitting, and there's a speaker up there, and he's sitting in the chair. It's a Memorex commercial, and they hit the music, and the music comes blasting at him, and his hair's flying back. We can feel sound, but we can't see it. It moves faster, the world of sound. The next world is the world of light. Light moves faster than the material world or sound. And then we have the world of thought. And the world of thought moves at a supersonic speed that exceeds that of sound or light. Faster than sound or light. And then there is the world of spirit. And in the world of spirit, the pulsations are so rapid that the appearance of disharmony, disorder, and even disease is not possible. There is such harmony and integrity and coherence in the spiritual world, that level of energetic vibration, that there is no appearance of separation, disharmony, disorder, disease. This is how I believe the manifest universe operates. Differing vibrations of energy. Now I want to bring, well, before I do that, I'm going to bring you into the midst of it, but just a minute. You can stay out there for a minute. You don't have to jump right in yet. I want to make a judgment. What? You need Mr. making a judgment? Dana must have a fever. Well, one of the 12 powers of humankind that Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, wrote about was judgment, also called wisdom. Wisdom. And I want to make a judgment here and now, and it's this, that higher energy is better than lower energy. Higher energy feels better than lower energy. That is what I hope is a wise judgment on my part. And you can make that determination for yourself. Now, I want to bring you right into the midst of all this. I want you to recall a time when you walked into a room full people. People that you didn't know, people you hadn't met before. And remember a time as you're scanning the crowd when you looked at someone and you felt drawn to them. You wanted to meet that person. Whether you did or not, you wanted to meet that person. I will lay you good odds, and I'm not a gambling man, but I will lay you good odds that that individual was vibrating at a frequency higher than most of the others around them. Now, I want you to recall another time. Recall a time when you were with some one-on-ones, you spent some degree of time with them, and after you left, you felt weak, kind of hollow, maybe even a little depressed. Now, we are all God's children, every single one of us, yes? Yes. And I would hazard a safe guess that the people that you had been with were vibrating at a lower level. Now, this isn't about bad people and good people, more godly or less godly. It's not about that. That, I think, would be an unwise judgment on our parts. But it is a recognition of what is. What it is, as I said earlier. Some people vibrate lower than others. Not a good or a bad. It's just the way you are. It is, and energy can change. Everything changes. So, when I encounter a low energy field, it feels like I'm hitting a wall. That's what it feels like. I can't go where I want to go, or I'm slowed way up. So how can we get past that wall? Well, I believe that the way we can do it is by matching our energy to source energy. Because here's something else I know about energy. And science has demonstrated this time and again, test after test, that higher energy systems dissolve and convert lower energy systems. I'll say it once again. Higher energy systems dissolve and convert lower energy systems. Higher energy systems lift up lower energy systems. That's why, and I hope when you were in that room and you saw that person, that you said, I want to meet them, him or her, that you did. And I bet that after you did, your energy was lifted up. Yours was higher. That's why many of you come here every Sunday morning. Because when you're here, your energy is higher. When you leave, your energy is higher. And it remains higher. And your energy affects other people's energy. There is no limit. You see, you are an energy system. You are an energy system. You don't simply have energy, you are energy. You are not simply an amalgam of bones and muscles and fluids and cells that you stoke. We do, we need to stoke, we need to eat. At least I still need to eat. Saw Miss Adora was here last week. She said that when she was traveling home recently from India, it was a long journey. It was 5 days from where she was in India to the time she landed in California. And she went for 5 days without eating, and she said she was very comfortable. And she drank fluids, but she didn't eat. And she was fine. She didn't even think about it, she simply did it. I currently hold a belief that if I went 5 days without eating, that I would be like comatose. But that's just a belief that I'm holding right now. But the point is that it's not like there's energy out here, you bring it in, and now you have some energy, and you burn it up, and you use it up, and then you go get some more energy. You are energy. That's what you are. You're not exempt from the same principles as the chair and the lights and the sun and the sky and the stars. We're all in it together, just vibrating